You probably heard about the story of 300 Spartans, maybe from the movie 300. And you maybe know that 300 Spartans fought more than 1 million Persians. If you asking if the battle existed, the answer is yes, the battle did happen. And it's considered as the most symbolic battle of today's time. The Battle of Thermopylae. Were there really only 300 Spartans at the Battle of Thermopylae? It is considered a heroic last stand by King Leonidas of Sparta and his tiny number of brave warriors against an army of a supposed million soldiers. A sculpture dedicated to King Leonidas of the Spartans in Thermopylae, Greece. The 2006 film 300 told the fantastical story of the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC, when a handful of Spartans fought the entirety of Persia's armies for 3 days. But was it as one-sided as the legend suggests? In short, not as much as suggested. It is true there were only 300 Spartan soldiers at the Battle of Thermopylae, but they were not alone, as the Spartans had formed an alliance with other Greek states. It is thought that the number of Greeks was closer to 7,000. The size of the Persian army is disputed. 5th century Herodotus claimed there were over 2 million, but it was more likely to be between 100,000 and 300,000, so the Greeks were still against overwhelming odds. With this huge army, Xerxes I of Persia was intent on invading and conquering all of Greece, but King Leonidas of Sparta met him at the narrow coastal pass of Thermopylae, known as the Hot Gates, where Persia's superior numbers counted for nothing. A messenger threatened a Spartan general saying, "Our arrows will block out the sun," to which the general replied, "Then we will fight in the shade." Leonidas' forces held off the Persians for 2 full days. The Spartans were brutal warriors, raised never to surrender or show weakness. When a Persian ambassador ordered the Greeks to lay down their weapons, Leonidas hit back with, "Come and take them." A Greek called Ephialtes betrayed his country by revealing a path to the Persians that allowed them to outflank Leonidas. The Spartan king dismissed most of the army and formed a rear guard of around 1,500 men, including his 300 Spartans, 700 Thespians, 400 Thebans and a few hundred others, many of them slaves. They were wiped out, but this sacrifice allowed the bulk of the army to retreat and regroup. After the battle, Leonidas' sacrifice, along with that of his Spartan hoplites, did not prevent the Persians from moving down the Greek coast into Boeotia. In September 480 BC, however, the Athenian navy defeated the Persians at the Battle of Salamis, after which the Persians returned home. Nonetheless, Leonidas' action demonstrated Sparta's willingness to sacrifice itself for the protection of the Greek region. Leonidas achieved lasting fame for his personal sacrifice. Hero cults were an established custom in ancient Greece from the 8th century BC onward. Dead heroes were worshipped, usually near their burial site, as intermediaries to the gods. 40 years after the battle, Sparta retrieved Leonidas' remains, or what were believed to be his remains, and a shrine was built in his honor.